If your sugar cookies already look beautiful but taste a little plain, adding real vanilla beans can give them a complete makeover. The smell is incredible, the flavor is richer, and those little vanilla specks make the whole cookie feel special before you even take a bite. After working with vanilla for a while, I've picked up a few tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you in this video, but be warned, once you try it, you may not go back. When I first started decorating, I have to be honest, I didn't really like sugar cookies. I loved how they looked and I loved decorating them. I just really wanted them to taste as good as they look. So I started playing with my recipe. And one of the biggest differences by far was using real vanilla beans. I didn't have to reinvent my recipe. I kept everything I was already using, extract, emulsion, and just added the fresh vanilla beans. If you already have a sugar cookie recipe you love, you can do the same thing. Before you use them, though, you want to make sure that they're actually fresh because not all vanilla beans are worth using. A fresh bean should feel soft and flexible and slightly glossy. It should bend easily without snapping. If it feels stiff or dry or has white spots, just toss it. Sometimes vanilla beans can form harmless crystals, and that can be confused with mold, but personally, if I see anything on a bean that makes me question it, I just don't risk it. So once you have a fresh bean, getting the seeds out is actually really simple. Now, I like to wear gloves and I also like working on a paper plate because it keeps everything contained and makes cleanup a lot easier. I split the pod lengthwise, and when I do that, I cut away from myself both directions. I'm never pulling the blade back towards my hand. I turn the bean and then cut away from myself. Then I use something blunt like a butter knife or a leveler. I'm using a leveler. This came with a set of measuring spoons, and scrape out the seeds. And if you're wondering how much I use in my recipe, I use 2 to 3 vanilla beans per egg. That might sound like a lot in addition to your extract or emulsion, but if you really want the flavor to come through, it does make a difference. When I add them, I mix the seeds right in with my wet ingredients so the vanilla gets fully incorporated throughout the dough. As I scrape the vanilla beans with a leveler, I take everything that I collect and I just wipe it on the side of the measuring cup that I'm going to use for my wet ingredients. So once you start buying vanilla beans, you're going to want to store them so they last as long as possible. I'll also put a link in the description for some of the things that I'm using in this video. They can last for about a year, I've read, but every kitchen's a little bit different. In my kitchen in the Bay Area, they tend to stay fresh for about 3 to 4 months. I know people use the word vanilla when they want to say something is boring. When it comes to your cookies, that's just not the case. Fresh vanilla changes the whole experience, the way it looks, the way it smells, and of course the way it tastes. Because decorated cookies should look beautiful and they should also taste like something special. So if your sugar cookies already look amazing, but the flavor still feels a little flat, fresh vanilla beans are my favorite way to change that. It's a tiny change that makes a big difference. As always, I hope something in this video inspires you, and if you learned something, please give it a like. That inspires me to keep making videos and sharing what I learn on my cookie journey with you.